This is Lisa Murkowski, Senator for Alaska and lead Republican on the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee. I want to speak with you today about one of the threats that we're experiencing personally, rising energy prices. It's crippling for anyone with bills to pay, groceries to buy, or a long commute. When gasoline prices go up, families and businesses are stretched thin. Budgets are harder to balance and jobs are destroyed. If energy prices keep climbing, our nation could slip back into recession, just as we're finally emerging from the last one. The worst part of this emerging crisis is that our own government deserves much of the blame. International events have pushed prices higher, but our own short-sightedness and restrictions have also played a critical role. They don't realize or don't care about the damage to the economy, the pain to a mom as she fills her minivan, or a farmer as he tries to bring in a harvest. And now we're facing the consequences. Republicans believe that Americans deserve better, and we believe the federal government can do better. We're ready to make meaningful progress on energy, and we're hopeful that our Democratic colleagues will join us.
Governor Martin O'Malley and Constellation Energy hailed the understanding between the state and the utility as a truce. 1999 deregulation deal widely derided as a losing bet for consumers. However, both sides acknowledge there's no permanent protection from soaring power bills.
The reality is that high energy costs are here to stay. The cost of energy is not going to go down. If anything, it's going to go up.
There is no magic wand that can, in the Public Service Commission drawer or any other drawer in this building that can force down the price of a commodity like gasoline or natural gas or the other things that go into generating electricity. There's another great threat on our horizon, and it is that energy consumption has been growing pretty steadily for the last 10-15 years, and yet there has been virtually no construction of new generation. So we are facing the real possibility of rolling brownouts or blackouts in the next 5 to 10 years.
Overall, Constellation has dramatically benefited from deregulation, and ratepayers have suffered.
None of those things is a silver bullet solution to making energy rates more predictable, stable, and affordable moving forward.
The truth is, our energy problem has become an energy crisis because no matter how well-intentioned the promise, no matter how bold the proposal, they all fall victim to the same Washington politics that has only become more divided and more dishonest, more timid and more calculating, and more beholden to the powerful interests that have the biggest stake in the status quo.
Consumer costs will likely continue to increase through the year 2011.
We hope that the Public Service Commission moves forward in developing long-term solutions.
In this world, there are necessities. In a high-priced, energy-driven world, the road to a solution seems to be moving backwards. Illinois, New York, Maryland, and Texas markets continue raising electricity prices each year. So when the government changed the law and our solution was put in place, the world was eager to save. Because overpaying on something like electricity is how you move backwards, not how you move forward.
The U.S. unemployment rate jumped to 6% in April, the highest in nearly 8 years. Folks are coming back into the labor market, but they're just not finding jobs. The labor department said new claims for state unemployment insurance jumped.
Until recently, consumers had no option other than to buy their electricity from the same company that generated it, the big power companies. Power companies had a monopoly on generating the electricity and then selling it. And do you think for a moment they treated us fairly? No. And the government didn't think so either, so they broke up the monopoly. What does this mean for you? Energy is now deregulated in many states, meaning consumers can save up to 20% on their electric bills for the very same power they already get in their homes and businesses. The power lines that deliver your electricity don't change, and servicing of those power lines doesn't change. The only thing that changes is the provider of your electricity and your rate. You pay less. Not since the deregulation of telephone in the 1980s has there been an opportunity more perfectly suited to direct selling than this. When the baby bells deregulated, new companies were born, big names like Sprint and MCI, which today we take for granted, but at the time were unknown. Yet together they were able to reach $1 billion in sales even faster than giants in other industries like Microsoft. How did these companies get their start? By using direct selling. And in the process, many of their loyal independent business owners, people just like you, became millionaires. Did you know 2 of the 5 highest grossing direct selling companies in the U.S. today are energy companies? And did you know they grew that big in a very short time despite only being offered in just a small number of states like Texas and New York? How could they do this? Because electricity is the perfect product for direct selling. Electricity is not an overpriced direct sales product like vitamins or cosmetics. The only way other direct selling companies can afford to pay a commission is to overcharge you for products that you probably don't need in the first place. Not with electricity. It's consumable, it's a commodity, you can pay less, not more. Every household must have electricity and everyone uses it, a lot of it every day. Best of all, consumers are already trained to pay for it every single month forever. It means electricity has none of the problems that plague almost every other direct selling product. People already know what it is, why they need it, and how to use it. With electricity, there's no product training, no inventory, no spoilage, nothing to ship, and nothing to return. Electricity is not a fad, and it will never become obsolete. Several states have already given their residents the choice of where to purchase their energy, and many, many more states will follow. Imagine all that electricity being generated, and someone is getting paid for it. It may as well be you.
Because everybody is responsible. Everybody is responsible. Everyone's responsible. You mean you may try not to be and avoid it and say, oh, let the senators take care of it or the president. But theoretically, everyone's responsible. Now, that's terrifying. See, it's all right when you know what's right. There is an aristocracy, there is the clergy, and they know what should be done, and they're used to ruling, you see. But now it's in your hands. You say, well, what are we going to do? Everyone's responsible.